This is your Colts Week 3 scouting report. We take on the Kansas City Chiefs at home in Indy. Let's get this out of the way. First things first, we absolutely flamed out against the Jaguars 24-0. To be honest with you, I'm kind of lost for words. I'm embarrassed. I'm shocked. I don't really know what happened, but we've got to move on from that game. We did have Michael Pittman Jr. out. We had Shaquille Leonard, who's also out. We had rookie wide receiver Alec Pierce, who was out. So it wasn't a great game. We didn't look very good. And now we take on the Chiefs. So I don't see us winning this one, if I'm totally honest. But if at any point that we need to show what we can do, it's got to be this game. Otherwise, an 0-3, technically 0-2-1, but an 0-3 game or an 0-3 record to start the season pretty much rules us out. In terms of injuries, Alec Pierce is back training, although he hasn't fully cleared the concussion protocol. Shaquille Leonard is said to be feeling much better, but I don't think he'll play. I still think he'll sit out until he's fully ready to go. Michael Pittman Jr. had a limited practice. Personally, I don't think he plays. I think he gives it another week of rest, and particularly because we're playing in Kansas City, and I imagine most people favour them to win, and I will say that includes myself. I'm sorry, but we just don't look like a good squad right now. Nick Ngakwe didn't practice, which isn't good considering it's Friday now. Obviously, the game is on Sunday. Bernard Raymond as well, limited practice. He has an ankle injury, so it's not looking good. I don't think we'll be with Michael Pittman Jr. I think Alec Pierce, the rookie wide receiver, I think he plays. But I do think it's going to be quite a difficult matchup. Kansas City are rolling right now. I mean, they look like the best team in the AFC West, and we, what can I say? We just look like trash, to be honest. Things you should know in this game: Kansas City are on a roll. They're obviously the favourites in this game. We, as I said earlier, aren't doing too well. I think we sit third in our division right now in the AFC South. The key thing here for me is Matt Ryan is 2-2 against Kansas. Now, in my last video against the Jags, I mentioned that Matt Ryan had lost and he took an L. So that doesn't bode well for this week's predictions. But he is 2-2 against Kansas City Chiefs. Whether that can become 3-2, and bearing in mind we did beat Kansas the last time we played. I think it was a couple of years ago now, and it might have even been the playoffs. We did beat them, and I think it might have been Jacoby Brissett at QB. So that does say a lot. Obviously, he now plays for the Browns. Last thing I think you should note is, and this is more of an opinion, I feel if we go 0-3, yes, I know it's technically not 0-3, but it is 0-3. There's going to be a lot of discussions around Frank Reich and Chris Ballard. We as Colts fans are very patient. We're not the kind of trashy fans, and we don't cause much uproar. We're kind of dignified. But now I think it's time to raise our voices a little bit. A bit of a cause for concern, especially if we don't win this game. It is a really hard game to win, but if we go 0-3, I think it's time to raise the alarm. So players to watch. It's kind of sad, really, because outside possibly rookie wide receiver Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr., we're basically starting our second and third string. So Ashton Dulin, who looked good in the last game and is a bit of a Swiss Army knife, I think he would probably be the only guy that I'd like people to pay attention to, just because he brings a different element. Not only does he kick return, but he can play in the slot. Everybody else, we really haven't seen anything, so it's kind of a hard one there. Pretty much the only person I think he should start is Jonathan Taylor. I think it's time we do give him the ball. We need a win, and we know what he can do. I would absolutely 100% stay away from Matt Ryan. I'm sorry to say as a Colts fan, but he doesn't look right. He actually looks quite old and fragile. So in this game in particular, no, not with Chris Jones coming after him. I wouldn't go for Matt Ryan, so keep him on the bench. And that brings us to the end of your Indianapolis Colts scouting report, Week 3 against the Kansas City Chiefs at home in Indy. I'll say it before, I'll say it again. I do think the Colts are going to take an L. I think we're going to lose this game, and I think it's time to raise the alarm if we do. But if we win, happy days. Stay tuned for more.